Welcome in, everyone. This is Farmer Cop here. We are back on the Pass It On series on Riverbend Springs. If you don't know what the series is, a bunch of different content creators are doing some work on here and then passing it on to the next content creator to do a video and so on and so forth. So every week we pass it on, and this is my week. We have gone through the content creators all the way up to 4B, and then 4B did a second video, and now we're going backwards. So 4B got the farm after me last time, and now I got the farm after him this time. So, and last time, if you don't remember, Virtual Farmer left me some cake to deal with, that silly guy. And also, I should also note, some people have been worried about, it feels like in comments, have been worried that we're, like, all the content creators involved hate each other, and we're all mad at each other. Not at all. What is this field? I mean, now I'm mad. No, I'm just kidding. But anyhow, nothing in them, just weeded up here. But anyhow, the main thing I'm trying to go for here is we're all having fun. We're giving we have a private chat that we've been chatting with each other and giving each other a hard time. And yeah, we're just, I mean, if you thought it was bad in this series, you should see how we act around each other in real life. We are brutal to each other, but we're really good friends, and that's just part of how we are. So don't worry that we're being mean to each other or anything like that. That's part of the fun of yeah, it's just part of the fun. So anyhow, I saved the farm last time. 4B disagrees with that, but 4B did even more work, and my hat off to him. He was able to take us out of debt. We are debt-free with $300,000, which is perfect. Because I've got some really good ideas for what to do with the farm and how we're going to make everything kind of go forward and be better. First off, I don't know how we haven't combined these three fields to be one field. That just kind of makes more sense to me, so I might do that at some point. We'll be look at plows here. I wish we had the lizard, the bigger plow. Oh, 210 horsepower. I need to take a look at, I don't even remember what we got for, like, let's just tab through our equipment. So we still got my katana. We have the Massey Ferguson here. This over here, let's talk about this real quick. 4B actually was very nice to me, but he actually baled a lot of these himself. I might have to come through and clean up some of this, but I have to pick all these bales up off of this field without autoload. I am allowed to use, however, where is it at? Let's go down here. Oh, where are we at? Transport, here we go. This guy right here, the multi-pack. So I will end up having to lease that to go multi-pack all these guys and do something with these. But anyway, yeah, got that tractor, got this tractor with the mini baler on it, which I need to see what we have leased and stuff like that in a second. And we got Deutz-Fahr up here, great tractor. I bought this for us. This really is honestly an awesome tractor. And then we're back to the katana. All right, let's go to the store. Let's take a look at our list of equipment. I want to make sure we don't have a ton of stuff leasing. All right, we're releasing that. That's not the worst case scenario. We're releasing that bale. That makes sense. And we're leasing the hay equipment. So we'll get rid of the hay equipment, I think. We'll return it. Since we don't own it, we don't need it. So I'm not going to change a ton of stuff going on here, but what we do need to do, we could use an upgraded combine harvester as well. But I'm trying to also not make it too good for Virtual Farmer, because I really want to hose him. But I think instead of like truly hosing him to make his life completely difficult, I've got kind of a better idea, more of kind of like a joke that I want to kind of throw in here. That's good. Some of you guys may not like it, so just be warned if you're going to be upset that I'm giving a Virtual Farmer a really hard time. He is my friend. Everything is fine, but I am going to give him a really hard time. We got some TMR in there. That's good. Nothing fermenting. That's fine. Pig food mixer. This is, I'm assuming this is so we can sell all that off and do all that sort of stuff. Because animal-wise, we have chickens and we have our cows still. Our cows are producing milk, which is great. That's actually making us a decent amount of money. We have this guy with lettuce selling. This is a great way to make money. Now, we do get to add one mod in, and I'm not going to talk about that mod just yet because I want to do it later. We need to get this farm kind of up and running a little bit. Now, how much horsepower does our bigger tractor? We don't have any bigger tractors. Deutz-Fahr has how much horsepower does this guy got? 230. If we were taking a look at those plows, I do want to plow some fields together. 230. It would really struggle to pull that. It could pull that one though. 4.2 meters. That should be plenty. Yeah, I'm just gonna, if we lease this, that's 25.75. The other problem actually too, I bet, are we playing with, I can't remember some of the settings we got going on here as well. Settings, general settings. Is periodic plowing required? It's game settings. Oh, I don't have the permission. I get to log in as admin. probably. So that's, I'm not trying to change any of the settings. I just want to, there we go. We're logged in as admin now. Okay, let's go back down here. Settings, game settings. Okay, we don't have seasonal growth on. That's great. We have snow. No crop, or crop production is on. Ouch. Periodic plowing is off. Oh, thank goodness. Fieldstone's on? Is it? I feel like it wasn't before. Lime, weeds, yeah, all the... Okay, I'm not going to mess with the settings. Like, I don't think I'm allowed to. So this time around, last time around, we had to give each other something. We had to make something that the other person had to do something with. That's why I talked about the cakes. Virtual Farmer put about 75 production facilities over here just to make some stupid cake that took me forever to sell. So we're not doing any cake. That cake baking son of a biscuit. Son of a baker. I don't know. Anyhow, that's what I think of VF. Not really. He's right. Again, I got to just keep prefacing that before I get nasty comments about you guys are mean to each other. But that's not. We're not trying to be mean to each other. Just don't worry. We're having fun. Okay, so I did have to clean up that mess over there, and we're gonna leave that as grass. I'm not worried about that, but I do want to put this field together. Thankfully, we don't have to plow the whole thing. That's why I was checking that. But I didn't lease one of those, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and how much is this to lease? I don't think it matters for that. $2,500. That's not a big deal. We'll lease that. Let's get in our Deutz Far. I don't need this tedder anymore, actually, or the windrower. Let's make our lives a little bit easier. Let's go back into our vehicles. I'm just going to return those two things. This we can return. And this we can return. So we can use the katana to pick up the grass. That's way easier to do anything else. Excuse me. I would love to... Does anything that we have on here need lime right now? Get everything off of there. Nothing needs lime. Okay. Oh, gosh. We own these fields over here. They have weeds in them. None of these fields are fertilized, which that makes sense. Because why do anything? I'm just kidding. I'm giving 4B crap. He actually did really good work for the farm. He worked his butt off. He put, like, between both his episodes, he put like 30 hours in. So my hat's off to him. I owe him probably a nice dinner next time I see him or something. But yeah, I would like to also maybe plow these two together. It doesn't make sense to have just 17 different fields. So let's plow these two together. We'll plow these three together while we got the plow. That's one thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to get that done. I'm not going to pick up those bales without you guys in here. I want to show you guys how we're accomplishing that. Excuse me, sorry. So what I am going to do, let's get the map on here. I'd like that on. What I am going to do is when we go to do that, I'm going to keep you guys in, and we are going to do it as a time lapse because I think that's the most appropriate way to handle that, since I'm going to have to do it all by hand, and that's just the way it is. So that's one thing we're going to do, but I'm going to go grab the plow. I'm going to plow those fields together. That's not something too exciting. And then we probably need to cultivate all those fields so we can get something planted in them. I'm not sure yet what I want to plant. I'll think about that a little bit, but we need to get those fields rolling again so we got stuff underway. And then I am going to make a little modification to one of the fields, which is... yeah, don't even worry about it. I'm going to make a modification to the field. I wouldn't worry about it. No, are you kidding? That car almost hit me when it cut back over. Then you slammed on your brakes. What a jerk. All right, so, yeah, I'll get that done. I'll see you guys here in a bit, okay? It's all going to be great. Everything's great. All right, I'm bringing our little compact baler dealio down to our field of destruction so we can use that. I did buy a new seeder, a new cultivator. We are planting canola currently, and then I did return the lime spreader. I unloaded the lime out of it first, of course. Since none of our fields need lime right now, I figure we have enough money. We should stop paying the lease cost on that. And eventually, when either me or someone else needs to put lime down, they should be able to afford to just buy a lime spreader for the farm. And then I also returned the small baler after I baled a little bit more. Probably got another like 20 bales maybe to pick up now, but that's okay. I didn't want to. It bothered me that some of it was not being used. There's still probably little bits here and there that are not being used, but for the most part, we should be doing all right on there. And I also returned the plow after I got everything done. I'm still not going to tell you what I have planned for VF, but I have a couple of really good things planned. We're not going to get hit by the train, hopefully, here. But yeah, so I am not allowed to use autoloads, which I don't have an autoload mod or anything like that. I don't even know if there's any autoloads in here, but it was very clear that I was allowed to use a auto stack, and this is one of the ones I was allowed to use. And nothing was said about this one. It's an auto stack as well, so I also leased one of those, because after we put the bales into this thing, which, don't get me wrong, it's still going to be torture, because it's going to take forever to put all of these little bales into this thing. it's going to be very tedious, to say the least. But yeah, so we got that going for us here. And all I'm going to say is these 5 bales, because you can lift these guys by hand, by the way. These 5 I'm leaving off to the side for a reason. We're not gonna pack them up. Those are off to the side for a reason. But anyhow, we are all set now to do that. I got that guy here, this guy right here. If we tab around here, our seeder that I got, which, yeah, he's planting. Okay, good. I was like, is he actually doing work? He's doing work. So these fields are plowed together now. Obviously, we're planting canola out here, like I mentioned. This one was a decent seeder. I will explain why I bought this one, because some of you guys might say that it was dumb because it's not a direct drill, which I get your arguments, but let me explain myself first. This is the one I bought. Requires 200 horsepower. The direct drill requires 240, which is above our high-end tractor. So I think that the extra, I mean, it's close, but I still think that we'd be pushing it to pull this. So I decided not to get that. I decided to get this just to make sure we could pull it. I didn't want to invest in something and us not be able to use it. And then I also bought this guy right here because this guy only requires 180 horsepower, 8 meters, goes pretty quick. Yeah, it's faster, as fast as the other guys in here. How much does that require? 330, yeah, a lot less horsepower. It's a little bit awkward, but it's pretty cheap and it gets a lot of area done. So I also bought that. And actually our smaller tractor here is able to pull it, even though it doesn't have the horsepower requirement. That's how easy this thing is to kind of work with. But it is kind of an awkward shape and everything like that. But it's a pretty sweet little piece of equipment. You can see these 3 fields here are now plowed together as well. So that's all good. So yeah, here we are. We have to deal with this. I have some plans in the future to do some other things, but we need to get this done. So I'm going to go ahead and get myself ready, get some more coffee, and then what you are about to see is the time lapse of me dealing with this disaster. All right, welcome back in. Obviously, I couldn't time-lapse the whole thing because that was about an hour of work. As you can see here, one of the done bales here, this one has 8,400 liters of hay. You can see down the bottom right-hand corner. This one is a partial bale, but it still popped out a full-looking bale. This has 4,200 liters, which is only 7 of the mini bales. So now for this multi-pack, well, we can go in here, we can go to vehicles, and we can find the multi-pack, and we can return it. We don't need it anymore. So now if that's done, I already picked up all the other big bales that weren't made of little bales. So the ones that 4B Gaming left us that were regular big bales, I picked those up. There was 36 total, and I put them all in this guy right here, the farm production, just so they're in there, which is where I'm going to put all these guys as well. And again, those 5 bales right there, I got a special job for them. You don't have to worry about it. Only Virtual Farmer has to worry about it. So don't you worry about it. Just Virtual Farmer. When you're watching this, Virtual Farmer, you should be a little worried about what I'm going to do with those. So just be aware of that. But okay, let's pick up all of the bales here, except for we're going to come back for that partial bale, because we know one of these is a partial bale. So we're going to try to see how many of these little bales I actually picked up. So we're going to just start by seeing how many we can pick up here. Not how many, we are going to pick all of them up. We have to, actually. That's part of the challenge. Ooh, that didn't work out the way I anticipated it. What the heck was going on there? That was weird. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Because we know each of these has 14 little bales in it. So we're going to see what that's going to end up being in total. And if we find one that's not one made from mini bales, then we'll be able to see it on here, so we'll be able to take that out. But I'm pretty sure I got all of the regular bales out of here. And while we're down here, we might as well loop back and get these guys picked up. There we go. I don't know why that one had like no collision on it. That was kind of weird. Okay, 9 so far. This 10th one here, this is 140 bales. That means so far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more out there. We got a lot. Let's get the first load done here. Oh, that one didn't have a collision on it either. That was kind of weird. Get this one. We'll loop back for that other one. Grab this guy. And then, as soon as it's ready, we'll get this one. Does this one just not have a collision on it? Yeah, super strange. Super strange. Okay. We can put one more on here, then we'll have to come back out and get the rest, which is totally fine. There we go. Okay. So, let's go get these guys dropped off. I'm going to put them in the same thing. Because if I'm not mistaken, this guy can make silage from hay, right? Yeah. So this one, let's activate that recipe. Let's make some silage from hay. We have enough total mixed ration to get us by for a little bit. We have a little straw in there. We'll get some more grass off of this field as well as we go, so we don't have to worry too much about running out of grass, because we'll get some more. Our guy's almost done planting this field here, and then both of our fields will be planted with canola. And then I am going to, which I probably should have scoped out where I want to do this, but I've got a plan. So we're going to kind of look for the perfect area. See, the bottom 2 bales, every time I go over here, they don't want to actually go in there, so I'll pick those up in a second. Eventually, I'll use the little pallet lifter we have and lift the last 2, because I think they're just off the ground a little bit. It doesn't like to put them in. Let me try to like hit, and that pushes them down. I don't know if that angle changed enough to get them all to go in there. No, that's not quite. Okay. So it went from 184. Holy smokes, 281. We're gonna be lucky if they all fit. Okay. Put that back down again. Okay, so far we've done 14 of those bales. We're not gonna count those 2 on the ground. We'll pick those up later on. I don't want to pick those guys up either. We'll just push the other ones out when we get back over here. Or actually, we might just pick them all up so we can get them all in there. And then there'll just be 2 on the ground that we'll have to deal with. Yeah, he's just about done with that, which is perfect. Then I just need to fertilize all the fields, and then I'll probably do that. And then I'll bring you guys back in. Take a look. So obviously we know this is a 7. This one only has 7 in it. So we know that one. Okay. But I have that 7 written down. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more out here. So let's just do our math real quick. So we had 4 plus the 14 we just dropped up. That's 18 times 14 plus 7. We just picked up 259 mini bales. I actually thought it'd be worse than that. If 4B had done the entire field, because he... The reason there were so many bales, I should note as well, is if you watched his video, you'll know, he harvested the grass field 3 times over top of each other, fertilizing it and everything, without picking it up to make sure there was the most hay possible on the field to make me suffer the most amount of suffering. Sure, something like that. Words are unique. Grab that one. Come on, there we go. Okay, perfect. So, but our job is done. We've accomplished our 1 challenge task, which is fantastic. And I have just the best task for Virtual Farmer figured out, which I'm super excited to get him to do. But yeah, all is just kind of really doing really good for us. So I'm going to scope out the land that I need to do what I want to do. We may have to take out a little bit of a loan, which I know that those words are probably scary to 4B because he got rid of the loan. But I promise you, 4B, if you're watching this right now, we will have actually probably a decent amount of money in the bank, and we will have no loan, which is kind of sad because I wanted to leave less for Virtual Farmer, but I will be a little nice to you, Virtual Farmer. Remember this day, because the challenge I'm going to give you has nothing to do with finance. It has nothing really to do a whole lot with farming, and it's a very unique challenge that I have set forth for you, and I'm excited for you to go on that challenging adventure by yourself and to try to figure that out. So just be aware, but I've got a great plan for everything going on here. Everything is great. But we'll talk about that later on. I still got some good stuff. And you guys don't even know the mod that I added in yet. I'm going to use that here in just a second. That's going to be one of our big money makers. I'm basically going to make a money factory. Not really, but it's going to kind of work that way because it's going to work really well for us and future people. And we're going to set it up absolutely perfectly for them. So let's get this dumped off here. I'll put these in. Oh, that's actually, that might be the perfect. If that gets stuck on there, that might lift us up a little bit off the ground. Get them all in. Nope, actually, we just kind of missed the target completely. Actually, it might be full of hay. No, it's not full of hay yet. Come on. Get those bales in there. Let me just put this back down because I'm stuck in here. That's just, yeah, there we go. Some of them are getting on. Get off of there. All right, well, this is my mess. I'll clean this up. Anyhow, I'll see you guys here in just a bit. All right, things are going well. I got our bale mess cleaned up. We have a $300,000 loan. We're not going to use all of it, and we're going to pay what we don't use back. So do not panic for B. Everything's going to be fine. I also bought this field for $108,000. That's where we're going to do our special project. Probably some of the special project might go somewhere else, but that's at least a start there. This one I put down its second layer of fertilizer, which, you know, that's good now to harvest for that grass. And then I got the first layer on these guys. Next month, we should have weeds in both of these to deal with. So we'll deal with the weeds, and then we will also deal with, we'll get our layer of fertilizer on those bad boys as well. Yeah, so easy peasy. We'll get all that taken care of. No problemo. And then eventually we'll have canola ready to go. But in the meantime, I want to have something, this next project I have, I want it to start making money in the background. And it's going to make money right here. So if you don't know of this mod, it's fantastic. It's by Omatana. It is the apple tree mod, or the apple juice mod. Apples are fun mod. I don't know. I'm going to put the first one right there. Yeah. And we're going to just, it doesn't matter about being able to get to where the pallets are. I'll explain that. So there's 4, 5, well, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 4 groups. 4. There's 5. Let's see. Let's start with those 5, because the other thing we're going to use is the juice factory, which is located in here theoretically. Here it is right here. $10,000, super cheap, super easy. Now we have actually this nice little area over here, and this kind of seems like the perfect little like area for my juice factories to be. We're gonna have to do that. So I'll put one of those down to start. We're gonna need at least 2. So actually, let's just put 2 down to start. I'm gonna put another one right there. Yeah, easy peasy. Okay, so let's take a look here at our production in a way. So we're gonna do the regular apple because regular apple just requires water. You can speed it up if you use one of these. You can double the speed if you use manure, or well, we do have manure, though, but we'd also have to use seeds. So I'm just going to use the apples here. So what I do know is this, one of these tree groups here, if we do the math, 120 times 64, this is going to produce 7,680 apples a month. This guy right here, to make apple juice, which is what we're going to do, goes through, well, see, let's write this. I'm going to start taking some notes here because I've got just too many things going on, you know, but it's all good stuff. It's all going to be fun. So if we take a look at this now, we have 7,680 apples per month per tree group. And then we need how many in here? 1296 times 5. Oh, we're going to need more than I thought. Oh boy. 6480 is all that these guys go through in a month. So about 1 to 1. Oh boy. We're going to need a lot more of these factories to make this project work. But that's okay. What we are going to do is we are going to set this. We're going to activate it, but we're going to, nope, what do I want to do? Change output to selling. And then all of these guys, we're going to activate and change output to distributing. So we don't have to move the apples at all. Distributing. 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 We might set some to selling, to be completely honest, because this might be a bit much. Are those all activated? Okay. Yeah. These guys, that needs to be set to selling as well, and we can activate that. Okay, so we're in a lot of trouble here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups. I want at least 10 groups of trees, which would mean we need 10 factories. We actually probably could do 12 factories, and they would still be able to keep up with them all. So let's try to get... Is there a place we can put 12 of these down? Now, we're setting them to selling, so it doesn't matter if we can really access the pallet points or not. Flattening failed. Your face failed. Now, stop it. Let's put you right there. This one can go right here. This one, we can put another one right over here. So that's 5. 6. I don't want to block the paths. 7. 8. So there's 8 right there, which is great. That's a good start. 8 of them are right there. We can put the last couple over here. So if you have 8 there, we could do, yeah, right over. Look at this little corner right here, just designed for this. So we have 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. That's right. Yeah. How do you like them apples there, VF? How do you about that? Yeah, that's right. This is going to make you good money. You should be very happy with me. Oh, back into build mode. This we can sell off. We don't need that. I mean, it's $1,000, so it doesn't matter. But yeah. Okay, so we have 12 of those guys. So I'm going to put actually, well, I kind of want this to like look good too, you know? I'm all about things looking good. So I kind of want this orchard to look like an actual orchard. So I kind of want to paint through some of this to make this actually look like we're trying a little bit, you know? Okay. Yeah, we can just... Is that forest ground? Or that's grass. That's fine. Yeah, let's put some grass around these guys. Yeah, all the way back there. Get all this grassed up here. You know? And I'm gonna put some actual grass down in a second. Yeah, let's get all this kind of grassed up. Yeah, there we go. Get all that grassed up. Okay, so that's gonna look really good. We'll use the short grass, 'cause I think that'll be better for our little orchards here. I know this is a waste of money in a way, but it's all going to be really awesome. So now if we look, yeah, that just looks a lot better. It looks a lot cleaner, a lot nicer. And then we, of course, need a little path to make this all look good through here. So we'll get some gravel. That's probably too wide. Yeah, right about there is probably good. Yeah, it just kind of goes into where all this happening is. I'm just going to make this a gravel area since I'm not going to put grass there. But yeah, make that kind of a happening area there. I probably didn't have to get rid of this whole field. I'm glad I didn't buy... I almost bought a bigger chunk of land because I thought I was going to need more space to make this work. But this is actually going really well. Now, the only problem is going to get water is that I'm going to have to get watered all of these. But that's okay. That's not going to be that hard to do. So there we go. Okay. Got a little bit smoother around there. Yeah, there we go. That'll work. I'm going to curve that into that. Okay. Let's put some more trees right on this side. Let's do... Where are they at? Here they are. Okay, now the water point is the only point that actually matters, which is right there. So I want that point that way. And I'm going to put this just directly across from there. 2, 3, 4, and 5. We don't really need any more, actually. So this whole area I really don't know what to do with. At least right now. We could farm it or do something with it. I'll leave it to VF. Actually, I might actually have a really good thing to do in here. Well, no, I've got other things planned for VF too. So like, yes, I have a task for VF, and then I just have like a little surprise for him. You know, something just kind of nice. You know, to thank him for all the cake he made me make or have to deal with. It was actually only 1 pallet of cake, but it took literally 17 years. It felt like to finish getting cake done. I might have to redo that path a little bit, but that's okay. I should have done this in a different order. I'll just do grass up through there. That path, we don't need it. It's fine, it's gone now. Okay, let's get the grass, get some grass in here. Make this look all lovey-dovey. There we go. And again, I will fix that path in a second. I'm just trying to do it quick. I don't need to sit here for 7 hours in landscape probably. Much as I definitely could do that because I enjoy landscaping. Not in real life, but in game it's fun. When you're just painting a tool with it and you don't have to actually do the manual labor, yeah, it's a lot more fun in the game. Yeah, let's get that kind of cleared up a little bit through here, make this path look nice and tidy. Okay. I'm happy with that. We have our apple orchards up and running. Now, obviously, I have to go through here and I'll get all these turned on. I'll get some water rolling in them, and then we'll start producing some apples, and we'll see kind of how the money's going. But, yeah, I'm going to put a break in here. We're going to try to get ourselves to where the canola harvest is, and I'm going to get ready to work on my next kind of task. So I'll see you guys here in a bit. All right, everyone. It is time in the episode to engage in our payback of Virtual Farmer. Oh, Virtual Farmer, I love you, buddy. I hope you're okay. None of this is going to take that much time, to be fair. This is just an inconvenience. It could have been a lot worse. I will be honest with you. When I recorded my episode, the amount of time it took me to make sure the cake was done and to do all the stuff with the cake and the farm in the meantime, to keep the farm running while I waited for all the cake things over here, was about 10 hours. So what I'm about to give Virtual Farmer as a challenge is nowhere near that. Now, given, yeah, that 10 hours was my total time on here last time I recorded. I probably spent 5 hours dealing with problems that Virtual Farmer maybe created for me. So I am only going to give a couple of small things for him to do. The other things I did off camera, I added one more tree to our apple tree farm. We can actually go take a look at that. You already see one of my things I did. I have to, just to mess with them because of the cake. So obviously VF doesn't suck. I just thought this was funny. So I put some bushes out there. So yes, it's in the middle of the field, which is the good reason for that. For Virtual Farmer to be able to have this field be normal again, he's going to have to harvest around everything on here, which that shouldn't be too hard because none of this stuff has collisions on it. So he can just drive straight through. That won't be that big of a deal. I'm curious to see how AI is going to handle this. Probably not well if you hire a worker, but then he's just going to have to rent a plow and plow all that back under, so no big deal. So Virtual Farmer, maybe a suggested mod would maybe be the Lizard MT plow. That might be a good one for you, unless you really want to get back at someone else. And then lastly, I also purchased one other thing. Where'd it go? Where am I here? Where's my truck at? Yeah, I purchased this bad boy over here because I just needed this as a method to move these bales, and I'll talk about that in a second. The other thing I did, let's tab through over here, I also purchased this. This is one of the things in the Plains and Prairies pack. Actually, I purchased this to move water and the water tanker here, and then you can see I also added a windmill at the end there. So if I go into build mode here, added this windmill and then one more set of trees here, because these were actually going to be a little bit down. Now I've already paid off the loan. Let me prove it before anyone gets mad at me. I've already paid it off. The problem is these trees are very powerful. I didn't realize they'd be that powerful. They're making about 7 grand an hour. My apple juice that is from all the trees and everything, which that's definitely overpowered a little bit. I didn't know it was going to be that bad. But anyhow, so yes, that was just me messing with Virtual Farmer. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hide these bales across the map, and I'm not just gonna be like, and then the Virtual Farmer, here's the task I'm gonna give you. You have to go find these bales and sell them off or do something with them, but you have to go find them. There's 5 bales. I will do the first one on camera so you can see where at least the first one is to give you a hint, and then I will give you the 4 locations for the other one, so it's not gonna be that bad. I will give them very specific areas. For example, if I hide one, you know, at the animal dealer, like if I hide one at the animal dealer, I'll say it's in this area here. Like, it's not gonna be that big. He can look around, he'll find them. And I'm not gonna like make them that hard. You'll see, I'm not gonna hide them that hard. The first one, you know what, let's just go hide one at the animal dealer, and I'll use that as my example here. So I'm not trying to make this too hard, just a minor inconvenience that Virtual Farmer now has to go drive around and pick all these up. He's already got a truck to do it. I'm not gonna sell the truck. The truck is part of the farm, so it's not really that big of a deal. I'm curious to see what the comments are going to be on this one. No, I don't think Virtual Farmer actually sucks, for those of you guys that are a little bit more on the sensitive side. we are good friends. I'm excited to see him here in a couple weeks at FarmCon in Austria, and there's not any hard feelings. We have been giving each other so much crap in a private chat over this series, which has been absolutely fantastic. So where do I want to hide this? What if I did it like, here's like an example here. Let me just, by the way, these are a pain in the butt to move around, so I can't even do too much stuff with them anyways. And multiplayer, they really don't like, see, they don't like to do what I want them to do. So they are already, see, it dropped it again. They're very much a pain to move. So I can't even hide them that well if I wanted to. Oh, good Lord. This is going to drive me absolutely insane. Virtual Farmer, this prank is backfiring. These are the most difficult bales. I mean, you're going to have as much fun getting them out as I am trying to hide them right now. But yeah, here's an example of how I will hide a bale. Here's your first one, Virtual Farmer. I'll put it right there. So it won't be the most obvious, but it's not going to be like hidden underneath something. It's not like I'm going to put it inside of, you know, like that might be a little too much in there. You know, I think just something simple like that. But yeah, I'm going to go hide the other ones. Virtual Farmer, I'll send you a message with where the rest of them are. I hope you're ready. If you guys want to find out where the other 4 bales are, you're going to have to stay tuned, and you're going to have to check out Virtual Farmer's video. So make sure you guys go check out Virtual Farmer, 4B, all the other guys that are doing this. This series has been an absolute blast. DJ Goham, Tony Miff, Trucker Matsy. Who else was in it as well? I'm trying to think who else we had in it. Hope I didn't miss anyone. It might just be those 5 guys there, but yeah, a great group of content creators. Make sure you guys go check out all their channels, watch the whole series on there. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys for now. If you guys enjoyed this part of the series, please drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button up on the screen to join the Farmer Cop channel and turn your notification bell so you don't miss any future videos that I may post. This has been Farmer Cop. Thank you guys for coming and watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.